Hey guys, how's it going? As Recollection here, and today we're looking at the Ironman Mark 46 from Captain America Civil War. This is from Marvel Legends, and this is from the Giant Man Build-A-Figure wave from the Civil War line. So, looking at the front of the box here, we can see a clear, like see-through window that we can see the Iron Man figure inside. We've got the Iron Man Mark 46 written down here, Captain America Civil War logo here, Giant Man Build-A-Figure here. We've got a logo of Captain America. Oh, well, his shield. Iron Man photo on the left here and on the right. And at the back here, we've got a good picture of the figure with his repulsor blasters as well in his hand. And the whole Build-A-Figure line figures with all the different parts that you get with the figures. And there's a brief read-up of Iron Man if you want to look at that as well. Alright, so here we have Iron Man outside of the packaging, and let's have a closer look at his details. So the head sculpt looks really well done. There's a little bit of a thing there. Head sculpt looks really well done. There's a lot of good paint going on. There's nothing looks sloppy as such. Yeah, the paint's also really shiny. It looks better in while you're looking at it in person than the camera, but yeah, I guess you'd have to take my word for it. There's a little bit of a scuff going on here and there, but then yeah, being Iron Man, he's probably taking the suit through hell anyway, so it doesn't really matter. He'll get those scuffs on there anyway. Yeah, the sculpted details on this looks really nice. The arc reactor looks pretty good. There's a little bit of a paint slop in there, but that's hardly matters. Yeah, this figure I think first of all really feels hefty as well, and it's got really good weight to it. I had the Mark 50s before I got this, so getting this it just feels like it's a lot more sturdy and more substantial. Yeah, continuing looking at the sculpt, everything looks really well done. I think this is a really good figure. Maybe there's a little bit of paint lacking here, but yeah, it doesn't really make a difference. It's a pretty solid figure when you're looking at it in terms of paint and sculpture. So in terms of articulation for this figure, let's have a quick look at his head. It can go up, not that far, so it's only, oh no, it does go up that far up, which is pretty good. It goes that far down, which is, damn, that's pretty awesome to be honest. It just creeps right into that crevice. He cannot pivot, but he can look to the left and to the right pretty comfortably. Uh, that does stop the hand from going up a little bit, so the shoulder articulation is a bit hindered because of these shoulder pads. But yeah, that's how far up it can go. He's got the bicep swivel, which is not hindered at all, which is pretty cool. Double hinge at the elbows, which goes in that far, which is decent for a bulky figure because he's got massive biceps. Swivel at the wrist and a hinge, which is pretty, that's a pretty good hinge. He's got a diaphragm cut, which can tilt back that much, so not that much, and can go forward that much, which is also not that much, but yeah, it just, the aesthetics is pretty good. And he can go side to side a little bit, and he can twist around with that diaphragm joint. In terms of leg articulation, oh, that's pretty bad. That's the best he can do in terms of split. So he can't split that much. It's probably digging through that. So you don't want to split him more than that. There's a little bit of there are two gashes here. It's probably because of these rubbing in, but not sure. He's got a thigh cut, which is pretty good. Double hinged elbows, which is pretty insane for a figure of this size. Legs can go up, sorry, down and up, but not far up. And he can also pivot, and it's pretty good pivot. Alright, so looking at the accessories, this is everything that the Iron Man figure comes with. Let's first take a look at the Giant Man Build-A-Figure hand. So this is the right hand for, oh sorry, it is the right hand for Giant Man. It's got good articulation, double hinged elbows, swivel wrist, and hinge at the wrist, but the hinge doesn't move that much for me at least. Bicep swivel, and no glove cut, and it also goes in and out. Keep that aside, and these are the accessories for Iron Man now. He comes with a fisted hand, and there's another left fisted hand that's attached to the figure. And he also comes with a repulsor blaster hand for his left, and there's a right repulsor blaster hand attached to the figure. He also comes with these repulsor blaster effects, which are done in a more opaque kind of plastic, with the tip being a little bit translucent, and it's done in a blue and white kind of motif. Cool. That's all that the Iron Man comes with. All right. So something I thought that would be interesting is we just wanted to compare the Iron Man Mark 46 that we recently got against the Mark 50s that we have had for quite a while. So I think first thing, the Mark 50s do feel a lot lighter and a lot, well, less substantial. This figure I think just has better quality plastic, but this is the 2-pack Mark 50 with the Iron Spider that comes with the Peter Parker head. So yeah, that probably is the best color variation out of all the other Mark 50s. Uh, this is the 3-pack Mark 50 that comes with Thanos and Doctor Strange. He's got a light up feature as well, so that's what it looks like. So I think sculpt wise, this Iron Man is pretty much similar to that one. Just the colors are a lot different, and this I think is a lot more vibrant and really stands out. I'm not sure in terms of accuracy which one comes closer to the movie version. We've also got the single carded Iron Man from the Thanos Build-A-Figure from Infinity War, Mark 50. So these two are these two are essentially the same. It's just this one has a diaphragm joint, whereas this one has no diaphragm joint, but a light up feature. So that's what he looks like compared to all the other Iron Mans, and I honestly think this is the best made figure. It's just that the armor is a little bit outdated in today's standard. All right, so in terms of height comparison, this is what Iron Man looks like next to some of the other Infinity War figures. So this is what he looks like next to Iron Man. Next to Thor. Thor is a pretty massive figure, so he's probably in his own scale. So I've said that a lot in some of my videos, so you probably know all about that. This is what he looks like next to Captain America from Infinity War, so the same movie. Uh, this is what he looks like next to Spider-Man from Infinity War. Just get him to stand. That's what he looks like next to Spider-Man. So Spider-Man's a lot smaller, but he's a teenager in the movies, so that works well. This is what he looks like next to Rescue from Endgame. So yeah, she's sized pretty well. This is what he looks like next to one of the bigger figures. This is the War Machine from Endgame. So he's a pretty massive figure. So this is what he looks like next to Black Widow from I think Infinity War, and this is what he looks like next to T'Challa from Infinity War. And also, this is what he looks like next to the Mad Titan himself, Thanos, and Thanos is pretty monstrous. Cool. So let's look at a few other lines. So this is going to be the DC line. This is the other figures that we collect. So this is what he looks like next to an average 6-inch Mattel Multiverse figure. This is Deadshot, and this is what he looks like next to a custom Batman we made. This is also a Multiverse figure. This is Batman. All right, so in closing, I think this is a really good Iron Man figure, and the paint app on this guy is done really well. If you look at some of the other Iron Man figures, the paint doesn't really match other parts of the body. So the limbs have a lighter shade of paint than the torso itself. But yeah, this figure just has consistent paint all across, and it's really well done. And it's a really good armor as well. So yeah, for the movie, and if you want to recreate movie scenes, this is probably one of the better Iron Mans that I've seen for Marvel Legends, and this is definitely worth picking up if you have the chance.